The Connecticut Huskies are back to playing like a team that could make the Final Four. They are.
That's it? Just the Final Four?
Doster is going to be insufferable.
Just the Final Four?
Hey, once you get anything happen. They showed me something. Saturday night, they go into Wells Fargo. Villanova's got it cooking. Wildcats are starting to get closer and closer to the conversation of everything. And UConn went in there and played their game, imposed their will. Jordan Hawkins goes for 24 points. Alex Karaban's my Big East freshman of the year. He puts up 16. Connecticut is now playing through Hawkins, and they're realizing, just let him go. He's got an unlimited green light. The light is neon green. And guys, he is firing and hitting. Connecticut is dangerous.
Yeah, he's got his release is it's insane how quick it is.
Better odds. Sorry to interrupt.
Go ahead.
Connecticut makes the Final Four. I get my Twitter handle back before the Final Four.
The Connecticut making the Final Four.
Yeah. Shit. Because I don't know what's wrong. I can't figure out your Twitter, but here's what I was saying. On Saturday, it was watching it all play out. What? Providence just lost by 24 to Seton Hall. Seton Hall team that's not an NCAA tournament team that's been without Kadari Richmond. They just blow the doors off of them. And oh my gosh, the door's opening. And one of the most unlikely scenarios is now happening. For the first time since 1998, Connecticut will play Providence in the Big East Tournament Thursday, 2:30 Eastern time. If you're not at the Garden, you're really missing out, man.
I am so concerned for the 4-block radius around Madison Square Garden, because starting at about noon, you're going to have all the UConn fans showing up and all the Providence fans showing up. And not one of them gives a damn about going to see Marquette play. I don't even know who in the first round in the 12 o'clock game, right? So they are going to spend a solid 2, 3, 4 hours morning drinking. I'm not just talking about day drinking. I'm talking morning drinking. They're going to be morning drunk starting at 10 a.m. Do you know how many UConn fans are going to hop on the Metro North? And they're going to have their 2 Bud Light tall boys in there, and they're going to be sitting there. They got the little shooters of the fireball in there to just taking those down, right? To get into New York, to go to Stout, to go to some places around the Garden, to be able to go to Legends and sit there and hammer a couple more beers, get into the to Madison Square Garden at 2:30 to watch this game, to go absolutely nuts during this game, and then afterwards, you're either going to have there's going to be one set of those fans that are just celebrating like crazy, and another set of those fans that are just absolutely devastated and down in the dumps. And no matter what happens, you know what they're going to be doing? A little bit of this, a little bit of this, a little bit of this. It's going to be an absolute madhouse from about noon until about 7 o'clock. Anywhere around Madison Square Garden, I cannot wait. It's going to be unbelievable. That right there, I don't know if I've been more excited about the atmosphere of a game anywhere in college basketball than UConn Providence at 2:30 in the afternoon on a Thursday at Madison Square Garden. It's going to be so good. I can't wait. Fanta, real quick, I want 1 minute on this.
Yeah.
What has happened to Providence, and how has this team gone from looking like a legitimate Big East title contender to getting 20-pieced at home on back-to-back games? Hey guys, just a reminder, our sponsor for today's episode is Run Your Pool. They are hosting the Field of 68 Bracket Challenge. This year, they are giving away $1,500 in free prizes. It's all an incentive for you to get on there and find out just how good their platform is. I've been using them for my bracket pools for years. I've used them for Super Bowl squares. I use them for everything that I need to use them for. The biggest survivor pool that I'm in for both NFL and NCAA tournament is by Run Your Pool. So go check them out. The link's below. Tap in.
They're not defending. They've been soft in that department. Their ball screen coverage has not been good. They switch everything, guys, and now it's getting exploited. I mean, it's really hard to switch everything when you got a couple of defensive pieces right now that just are not active. And at the end of the day, this team coming into this season was going to be pretty reliant on Jared Bynum to hit their ceiling, and Bynum just hasn't had the year. Now, he was hurt for some time, but even when he's been on the floor, it just hasn't all come together. And what teams are now doing is, and I'll be curious to get T.O.'s perspective on this, but T.O., I really noticed it this past week at the Providence Xavier game. Sean Miller took Providence's best defender, Devin Carter, and then made him actually work the hardest. He went at him with different things, different coverages, different sets that made Carter get off guard. And then when it was time for Carter to rely on somebody to switch away from the ball, Providence was not in sync on the defensive end of the floor. They're just not an Ed Cooley team right now. They're a team that I think there's some guys that are not buying into the whole process. Bryce Hopkins, as good as he's been at times, what's happened here down the stretch is now you're adjusting to life as the guy. And at the end of the day, he didn't play much last year at Kentucky. He was a non-factor. And now he's at the top of every single scouting report, and teams are developing a formula. They're saying, you know what, Bryce, take the shot. Go ahead, pull up. And that shot's not falling. He really struggled against Seton Hall on Saturday. So the team right now,
you know what it seems like to me? It seems like they've kind of, I don't want to say checked out, but it did not seem like they were, I've never seen a team coached by Ed Cooley, at least in the recent years when they've gotten really good, quit the way that they quit at UConn. That stood out to me. Like down the stretch of that game, like guys weren't getting back on defense. Down the stretch of that game, like they were just kind of out there going through the motions. Against Seton Hall, they were very much just out there going through the motions. And that stood out to me more than anything else. Like the one thing you can normally count on from a team coached by Ed Cooley is that they're going to play hard. And that was a concern to me. All right,